Once upon a time, there was a girl named Anya. She lived in a small town by the river. Every day she crossed the bridge on her way to school and always watched how the sun reflected in the waves. She felt as if the river was hiding some secrets. In the same town lived a boy named Artem. He was a little older than Anya and loved to explore. Every day after school, he would ride his bicycle along the river, watching the same waves that Anya admired. One day, as Anya was walking across the bridge, she noticed Artem struggling to fix his bicycle chain. Without thinking, she ran over to help him. Together, they managed to fix it, and for the first time, they talked for a long while. They shared their favorite places in the town, the books they loved, and even their dreams for the future. Days turned into weeks, and soon Anya and Artem met on the bridge every afternoon. They would watch the river, laughing, talking, and sometimes just sitting in silence, enjoying the sun's reflection on the water. One summer evening, as the sky turned orange and pink, Artem took Anya to a small hill overlooking the river. "I wanted to show you something special," he said. They sat down and watched the sun sink into the horizon, feeling as if the whole world had stopped just for them. That day, they realized that something more than friendship had blossomed between them. The river, the bridge, and the little town witnessed the beginning of a beautiful story. And although they didn't know what the future held, Anya and Artem felt that as long as they had each other, they could face anything. And so, their story continued, full of laughter, adventures, and secrets shared by the river that had brought them together. After their first meeting, both of their lives changed. Every day they found a reason to talk. Sometimes about something important, sometimes about little things. But it was these small conversations that brought them closer. He began to notice that he smiled more often whenever he received a message from her. And she realized that her day became brighter if she knew they would meet in the evening. Gradually, their friendship grew into something more. They walked in the park, talked about their dreams, shared their fears. And the more they learned about each other, the more they understood that they had found the one person with whom it was easy to be themselves. But, as often happens, difficulties appeared on their way. Some didn't believe in their feelings, others tried to separate them. Sometimes even they doubted. Maybe it was just young love. Yet every time they looked into each other's eyes, the doubts disappeared. There was something more there, sincerity and warmth that could not be faked. Sparkles, and one day, he gathered the courage and said, "I want you always by my side. Not just as a friend, but as the one I love." She froze for a second, then quietly replied, "I've wanted that too for a long time." From that moment, their love story truly began. After their confession, their love only grew stronger. They learned to be together both in joy and in hard times. They supported each other when important decisions had to be made and celebrated even the simplest things together. Walking in the rain, hot tea on a cold evening, laughing without reason. Time passed, and one day he took the step he had long carried in his heart. At sunset, when the sky was painted in golden and pink shades, he knelt down and said, "You are my happiness. I want to spend my whole life with you. Will you be my wife?" Tears of joy filled her eyes. She nodded and whispered, "Yes." Soon after, their wedding took place. The day was filled with light, music, and the smiles of their loved ones. She walked toward him in a white dress, and he looked at her as if everything around them had disappeared, and only she existed. Years passed quickly. Their home was always filled with laughter, warmth, and love. They raised children, went through challenges together, but never stopped being each other's strength. And even many years later, sitting together on the porch at sunset, he held her hand and said, "You know, that was the best, yes, of my life." She smiled and replied, "And the happiest of mine." Sparkles, and so, their love story became real, long, strong, and everlasting.